based on feedback from the market and so on, employers, etc. Most of our courses are geared to like applied plant sciences per se, in that sense. You can matriculate with your CXCs, 5 CXCs. One of them has to be in biology, right? And when you come in with that, you start at our preliminary level, right? And that will be a 4-year program. CAPE, you need to have 2 science-related CAPE subjects. One of them must be in bio, CAPE 1 and 2, or you can have environmental bio at CAPE, as well as CSEC bio. That will give you a 3-year program. So that's at the undergraduate level. At the postgraduate level, you would have to have, of course, a BSc, preferably from an upper second to a first class honors degree to get into the postgraduate program. Most of the courses are pretty typical in terms that you have probably about 18 hours of lectures, 30 hours of labs, and of course tutorials as well to go with that. That's at the undergraduate. Definitely at first and second year, that's the typical process. At final year, you find yourself doing more field trips where we actually take our students out into the environment in which we're talking about. Let's say, for example, we're talking about dry limestone forests. We go to places like Cockpit Country, or here even at Long Mountain, and we expose the students to what life is like in the field. Yes, they, for example, may know a particular concept based on the lecture, but when they actually go out there and actually experience it, it's a different thing. And the value is that at the end of most of our courses, students come away saying, well, I'll never look on plants more or less the same way as I did before. When you leave here with a degree in plant sciences, for example, right? You can work with, of course, with government. Places like NEPA, right, is one for an example. Institute of Jamaica, their botany division, you can work there as well. You can do environmental consulting, right, which is something that I even did when I just started out from my degree as well. Botany tends to be a niche market. Does this mean that if you leave with a botany degree that it will be very difficult to find a job in your area? That's not necessarily so. Botany can be applied to other things. You can look at the environment in particular, right? And this is where your skills can be applied, as I said, in terms of environmental consulting. You can do garden management, or remember that Jamaica has a number of botanical gardens here as well. You can even work, for example, or tie your skills with somebody who is doing animal biology, right? And again, consult from there on. There's definitely a position, out there if you look. People need to go away from the thought that, when they see plants, they'll say, oh, it's bush, or, they'll call this whole tree a flower. I think it's important that, that we be able to differentiate and recognize our plants for what they can do for us, what they do for our environment. Medicinally, plants have a vast array of medicinal products, some of which have not been looked at as yet. And just having an appreciation for that, and studying in that area, a lot of opportunities can be realized.
The major misconception with respect to botany or botanists is that we know everything about every plant and everything about plants, which isn't so.
Internal audit. Internal audit service is vital when organizations aim to achieve reliable financial reports and regulatory compliance, navigating risks, streamlining operations, and promoting stakeholder confidence. The benefits of a high-quality internal audit are limitless, especially when you secure yours from a firm with deep industry experience, exposure to hundreds of organizations, dedicated professionals, and proven methodologies. Whether you're looking to establish an internal audit function, attain or maintain compliance with various regulations, mitigate your risk of fraud, or gain an overall assessment of your internal controls, You can count on Dodgen Global for reliable and timely business solutions. We've helped organizations nationwide and across industries to establish internal control structures, create an internal audit function, or improve an existing one, and maintain regulatory compliance. We provide ongoing education as regulations and public perceptions change. We are trusted advisors for management and boards. External auditors can be confident in our work and its results. Let Dodgen Global be a turnkey solution for your organization. Our team can help you make smarter, more effective decisions. Let's have a conversation. Contact us at email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
We speak of not just decision making, but informed decision making.
This week on Business Access.
We want to have the numbers to support what we do, and we are in an age where, mistakes can cost, and we've seen it in other jurisdictions, we've seen it in our own history. I'm Wayne Henry, Chairman and Director General of the Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ, and you are watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Creating change, building a future, caring hands, giving back, touching hearts, and shaping lives. Impacting our world for the better.
We're looking at the career of a botanist with Karen Campbell from the Institute of Jamaica. Let's look at some of the challenges one may encounter in this field.
Challenges that we face, well, for one, we would like to do more research, but obviously we are only able to do what we can do fiscally. Also involves, as I said, traveling across the island to conduct this research. And that means we have to cover gas, it means we have to cover accommodation at times, it means we have to cover equipment to do this research. Sometimes it's restricted with respect to resources. So at times we actually send proposals to funding agencies which support some of the projects that we do, and that's a good help there for us. The field of botany is such that it's not a field that is widely known and appreciated. So the amount of persons doing botany at the university level is not as much as we would like. We recently lost the authority on Jamaican botany, Dr. George Proctor. He died at the age of 95. But we still have a few people in the field, spread across a few government agencies as well as the University of the West Indies who are doing work. And yes, so that's one of the challenges, getting people interested in sciences, especially plant sciences.
Though a niche study, botanist Campbell explains areas where jobs are likely to be found, as well as the levels of compensation one can receive.
In the field of botany, a lot of employment or a lot of positions can be sourced or found in the government, right? In the government agencies or ministries. Each post would carry a range of compensation based on your years of experience, your academic exploits while you're working at the institution. Also, the post may or may not have a traveling allowance attached to it. That's also part of clear compensation if it does. And there's a range of traveling compensation packages as well. So if you're just starting out, most likely you will be earning over $1 million gross per annum. And depending on if you are a traveling officer, it could take you maybe up to 1.5 thereabout. If you are at the end of your scale, your compensation scale, you could be earning over 2 million per year based on with allowances, etc. added to that. If you're in the management where you're into crafting and developing policy, it could go beyond that as well. So it really depends on where and what you are doing and your level of qualification, as opposed to a first degree, a master's degree, or if you have a doctorate.
Before we wrap things up on a career as a botanist, there are certain misconceptions that Karen Campbell is eager to clear, while again highlighting the importance of a career in botany.
The major misconception is that, with respect to botany or botanists, is that we know everything about every plant and everything about plants, which isn't so. Botany is a branch of biology, and there are many branches of botany, as I pointed out. So botany looks at crop science, it looks at ferns, it looks at plant physiology, it looks at a myriad of different fields that you find under botany. And specifically for me, I work in the herbarium, the curator for the herbarium. So I'm more to the taxonomic aspect, where we classify, collect, name stuff, identify stuff. But I do wider research because the department is small, so you have to sort of try and be a generalist. But I'm not an authority on everything on the botany. That's one of the misconceptions. And sometimes somebody will ask you, what's the name of this plant? And you don't know the plant. And they'll say, but you're a botanist. But you can't know everything, and you can't cover all the bases with respect to botany because it's such a wide field. A lot of persons will think once you say you're a botanist, they automatically think you are a horticulturalist or a florist, somebody who has flowers that you plant, or you have a greenhouse or something to that effect. But that's not the case. As I said, it's a very wide field, and people might underestimate the importance of the field itself, but it is important in terms of planning, in terms of policies, and in terms of our survival.
Business Advisory. Realize greater growth and profitability. Navigating market changes can be challenging for any business. Our goal is to help you identify opportunities at any stage of your financial life cycle, ensuring you continue to meet your business needs in complex market environments. From startup through to expansion, tax advisory to accounting, Dodge & Global provides a multidisciplinary approach to managing the entirety of your affairs. We ensure your business remains profitable and competitive.